Hey everybody, I'm gonna be starting a new segment on the Quadstick. I don't know what the name of it is gonna be yet, but it's pretty much gonna briefly describe how I play certain games, like my configuration, how it reads, as little as possible. And today I'm gonna be covering Sifu. Um, it's actually a really fun game. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And yeah, let's just get started. Why go through all the introduction? But just like always, I will be putting like a little snippet of the video in the right hand corner so you can understand certain things about it. So Sifu is a combat kind of game, where you pretty much have to understand enemies' movements in order to not get hit. Because if you don't get hit, you don't die, and if you don't die, you win. Um, but first and foremost, the most basic thing is my first mode right down here. I always put it as a menu mode. It's not really gameplay. It's just so I can click start, or if I'm on a menu screen, like options and stuff. It's really easy to navigate because it's always controlled with the left analog stick because I use it as a console controller. Oh, and that the buttons don't really matter. I mean, yes, I put like A right here, B, X, Y, but they're pretty straightforward. Nothing really special about the menu. It's just that you can control it with the left analog stick on the quad stick. I think the most important ones are it's going to be combat and gameplay. So let's go with gameplay. Gameplay is pretty much not really used. I should rename it to like explore or traverse, I guess, because I only use this mode when I'm walking to the next enemy. I don't use it for combat at all. Zero combat. This is just for getting through the level. So pretty much the main buttons I use on this mode are moving forward. If I need if I have an item, because in this game you collect items like baseball bats, and you can pretty much beat up your opponent. So if I need to throw it, I can do so. So I walk forward. I could also throw the weapon. I sprint a lot in this one to get faster to my next enemy. And if I ever need to attack, you can also do that right here. And most importantly, switching to combat mode. These are pretty much the only ones I use. I'm probably going to highlight them because it's going to get hard to look at. But yeah, this is pretty straightforward. Just walk to the next enemy. I think the most important part is the combat. Like, how do I get all my moves down? How do I button mash and still able to execute them efficiently? Everything is done in the combat, right? So this is where I'm actually going to be covering it all. So you have your X and Y's, which is your low and high, or light and heavy hits. Pretty straightforward. You can combo them as you wish. This one I do manually. But when it starts getting into the more advanced ones, like the sweep or the chop, as you can see on the side, they start to get more intricate. And I'm like, I'm not fast enough to do it. And dodging is actually one of my weaknesses in this game. I'm still able to do it, but I have to really force my neck to move side to side vigorously. But going back to the sweep, it's the combo is down, up, Y. So I thought of a smart way of instead of me doing it, why don't the Quadstick just do it for me? Technically. So it's right here. I called it sweep. So what it's going to do, it's going to push down. And immediately after 160 milliseconds, it's going to go to the swipe combat on the bottom. So it's already activating down. And then right here, while it already activated down, it switches modes and activates up Y. So which is the combo down, up, Y. And it actually completes it. It completes it so well. It's easy to do. It makes the game more immersive for me because I know what I want in the game. I just have to execute it. As I have to give the command, so I know what to look for. And my timings and parries and all this stuff that's happening. So again, real quick, on lines 32, and 33, it pushes down, switches modes, and then completes the rest of the command. The same thing with chop. The chop has the exact same inputs, down, up, but instead of Y, it's X. So you can see it right here. So it activates down first, instantly delays the increment mode, and it does it twice. So instead of jumping once, it jumps to chop. And on chop, it activates the rest of the input, which is down, up, X. And these are my two strongest attacks. I done it pretty well having them on the left center sip and left center puff. Yeah, the same thing. You're able to parry in this one using left bumper. The rest of the skills don't really matter. I don't use them as much. Like I don't use left center sip soft, but I do use the stance skill. I apologize since I don't know really the names. I'm not really gonna go into it. I know what it means when I look at this XY, but this is pretty much my generic way of playing. I'm just showing how I overcame certain skills in this game in order for me to accomplish my goal in doing a deathless run, or at least beating it deathless. Hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. Pretty much showcasing my playstyle. Have a good one, guys. See ya.
May I help you, sir?
Come forward. Please, be my guest.
Let's wrap up today's lesson. I need to greet our guest.